Good evening. Welcome to 6 o'clock with SOC this Thursday, September 9th, 2021. Give me a second while we welcome our Spanish speaking neighbors. Buenas tardes. Bienvenidos a 6 p.m. con SOC este jueves 9 de septiembre de 2021. Si quieren acceso al programa en español, por favor, llamen al número que aparece en la pantalla, que es 646-749-3122. Cuando le contestan su llamada, comparte el código que aparece en la pantalla también, que es 779-328-221. Thank you for giving me that time. Folks, I have a little cold, so you have to bear with me today. It is that time of the season, and we have been slowly reintroducing into community. And so we forget that has other things we can catch besides COVID, which is colds. And so I'm sure also those of you who are in the same boat with me, it gets a little scary. So I went and got a COVID test and it wasn't COVID. So was not looking forward to if it was, because me and my family had that last November. So I'm sure you can relate that we still have to take all the precautions to stay healthy. My name is Tema. I'm the executive director and lead organizer here at SOC, and we're so grateful that you're here with us. We have a great forum for you today. Two great things happening. One is we're going to share an announcement. We can't give you all the information. We'll have another forum sharing details. But today we want to announce a plan being submitted to address the housing crisis. And then we're going to talk with some of the leadership from Walker's Point Association, neighborhood that I was born and raised in, about their organization, how residents can be engaged, and then Walker's Point Week that's coming up. So please help me welcome Gina Stilp, the chair of the Community Develop Alliance, who's going to accompany me to tell you about that affordable housing crisis plan.
Hi, Tammy.
Thank you for agreeing to be with us with such short notice. And don't worry about the background music that you have. We're all at home. We all have families and pets. And so we're all in the same boat, and we welcome the reality that is the pandemic. Gina, we only have a couple of minutes. I've shared with the SOC neighbors in a social media post that we recently became members of the Community Development Alliance, invited by you, as a matter of fact, and working to ensure that residents are centered and leading and helping with the solutions. But I wanted to bring you on so you can share with folks the announcement that you shared with our members about the plan's sort of first step into public arena.
Yes, thank you so much, Tammy, for inviting me here, and thank you for joining the Community Development Alliance. I'll do the quick 101 on who we are and what we're doing. So for the past 10 years or so, there's been a group of local funders, mostly foundation funders, who have been working together on neighborhood improvement efforts. And last year in 2020, we came together and said, it's great that we want to work together and prioritize neighborhoods in Milwaukee and neighborhood improvement efforts. Can we pick an issue to work on together in the neighborhoods that we all care about and are already working in? And we picked affordable housing. We know it's an issue that touches all the neighborhoods across the city of Milwaukee, and we know that it is one of the most important issues to families that we work and serve with. So over the past 8 months or so, we have been going through a planning process to identify strategies that we can work together on to make an increase in the rate of home ownership for African American and Hispanic families, and to make rent more affordable for families who are earning $15 an hour or less. And so in the research that we've done, we are using a racial equity framework in our planning process. And we started with data and information that was already put in plans. And so many of the neighborhood plans on the south side, on the north side, all across the city. We researched those plans. We pulled out the strategies that were most important around housing. And then we also did a series of action groups and feedback sessions with a lot of housing practitioners, nonprofit organizations, residents from across the city to go deeper into those issues and identify root causes, and then also identify a set of priorities that we could begin to work on together. And so at the end of that 8-month process, we just released a plan. There are 4 big priority areas that we're working on. One is around home ownership. And so within the home ownership category, we would like to increase the number of Latinx and African American homeowners by 33,000. Yes, that's true. There are 33,000 more white homeowners in the city of Milwaukee, and we want to see racial equity in that space. And so that means both producing additional units and preserving homeownership for families who are already in that position. And on the rental side is a very similar number. We know that there are about 33,000 families who are paying more than they can afford in rent. And so we know we need to increase the number of affordable rental units. How we get this work done is really important. And largely, Tammy and SOC's voice, as well as our resident liaison on the north side, Danelle Cross, have reminded us along the way that solutions must be resident driven. And so we have committed going forward to improving the way we work in neighborhoods, listening more. And our next step will be doing resident focus groups to really dig into the issue of affordable housing in particular neighborhoods to understand what resources are needed, what types of housing are needed, and what the priorities are for residents who are living across the city.
Great. Folks, this was just an introduction into this issue from the forum perspective, right? As we move forward, we'll be sharing more about what is really a crisis of affordable housing and what's being done by this group and how other plans are intersecting. And most importantly for us and our neighbors, again, as Gina mentioned, how you all can get involved in really understanding what the obstacles are and then coming up with solutions to address how we get to the other side of affordable housing, both renting and, as Gina shared, owning. What's the next step? Gina, we'll leave folks with that. What can they anticipate the next step?
So for folks who are online and who have web access, there's a website, housingplan.org. And on that website, there's a form where we would love to hear feedback. So feel free to submit either on website or via text ideas that residents have about affordable housing or about issues that you're facing. And then the next step after that is we will be working with organizations like SOC to organize listening sessions and focus groups. So in the next couple of months, you will hear probably through this forum and other avenues, opportunities to come actually either face-to-face or virtually, let us know what you're thinking and what you need and how we can work together.
Great. Thanks, Gina, for being flexible and for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great evening.
Okay, good night.
There you have it, folks. Just a quick introduction for you, and we look forward to digging in a little deeper. All right. Next, as I shared earlier, we are going to be talking about what is happening in Walker's Point, the neighborhood that I was born and raised, and many of you are very familiar with. So help me to welcome Kathy Osowski, who is the vice president of the Walker's Point Association. Hola, Kathy. Oops, looks like you're on mute.
Oh,
there we go.
Hola, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having having the Walker's Point Association on this great meeting for Southside Organizing Center. Tammy, thanks. Yeah, we wanted to make sure that everyone was following our annual fest. And due to the pandemic last year and this year, we modified the large in-person festival that we would normally have on 5th Street in the Walker's Point area to whether it was virtual and in person, or, just honoring some of the great businesses and associations in the Walker's Point area. And did you get the link that I had sent, Tammy?
Our producer has the link, so okay. Let's see if probably I'll have to come off screen and then she'll have to get the link on.
Well, let me just tell you about it.
Sure.
So if you go to walkerspointassociation.com or .org and scroll down, you'll see a banner talking about the Walker's Point Festival, Fest Week. And if you click on that, it takes you to fifthstreetfest.org. And the whole list is mentioned of restaurants, stores, concerts, promotions, free stuff. It really honors the businesses, gives them an opportunity to be noticed. We've been advertising them for them through 88.9 and Visit Milwaukee and other means, and of course our social contacts, and in a way to get people out and about, and not just on Fifth Street, everywhere. And then we kick it off with a large cleanup that we do twice a year. We had a great one in spring, and we'll have another one this coming Sunday from 12 to 4. Mobcraft hosts this cleanup. They provide all of the, the pinchers and the buckets. And it's a great way, if you have children or adults looking for volunteer opportunities, it's a great way to get together, talk with neighbors. They offer prizes for interesting things that are found. We weigh in how much garbage that we've collected. It's a great 4-hour event, and they have prizes. And for the adults, there's a free beer coupon. And I'll tell you, it's a great way to really reconnect with your neighbors and your other business owners. So that kicks it off. And then Monday through Friday, there's just different events going on at the different establishments. It continues through that Friday and Saturday. And then finally, this is the last thing I'll say, is on Sunday, the Harbor District, which is technically a part of Walker's Point, is having their festival on the 19th. And that's combined this year with Sturgeon Fest. And I understand that there will be an opportunity to take a baby sturgeon and put it into the water for the first few people participating.
Nice. It looks like Marisol is going to be able to bring up that website so we can familiarize people with it, Kathy. So she'll bring it up and then maybe you could talk us through it.
Sure.
I'm not able to do that. I don't have those skills.
Great. So if you go out to our Walker's Point Association website, you'll notice at the top it's in English and Espanol. You have the opportunity to go to the Walker's Point Week. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there is where you have the people hugging. Click on that icon. Scroll down. And we've really spelled out everything that's happening on a day by day. I noticed that the dates, those are the participants. There's also another way to log on. You can actually see day by day. Oh, there we go. Sunday kicks off on the 12th. We're having more and more businesses in an organization email us, telling us what they'll be offering and what events will be taking place. But this is a great resource to take a look if you're looking to enjoy a discount or a concert or anything else that's being offered. It looks like there's the galleries will be open, breweries, concerts. And as I mentioned, Harborfest.
Awesome. Looks like there's tons of things for people to do throughout the week. And a lot of these businesses also have outdoor space. I'm very familiar with the area.
Right.
So that's another thing to feel encouraged about in terms of staying as safe as we can. regarding COVID. And like I said, even just catching a cold. So
Right.
that's a good thing. Let's turn to the association itself. Kathy, how did you get involved with the association?
Well, that's a great question. I was actually recruited by a local business owner, and she had pioneered the Walker's Point Association. Actually started with a group of businesses that met on a regular basis about 15 to 20 years ago. And they were very concerned, even 20 years ago, about crime and gangs. And, a few of these business owners owned some buildings, and they really wanted to meet on a regular basis to talk about how they can develop the neighborhood in a way that would be safer and cleaner and better for business and better for people to live and enjoy that area. They saw the potential. And several years later, that business group was formally called the Walker's Point Association. And so 7 years ago, I was recruited by one of those business owners. I had a special interest in membership, trying to make sure that the neighbors were connected, and also make sure that the businesses were connected with each other. I think it's really difficult to survive as a business if you try to do it in a silo. I mean, when you're connecting with the different businesses on your own street, staying in sync with each other, even if it's just to be aware of crime, and keep an open dialogue in order to prevent and create a safer environment for patrons and neighbors. So I started the membership committee 5 years ago. And then our main mission of the membership was really to create fun ways that people could connect, and all with the desire to create a cleaner, safer, better communicating neighborhood. So whether it's our website or our social identities, or the events that we have on a monthly and annual basis, I mean, that provides the connectivity to keep conversations going.
Yeah. What can you tell us now? Do you live in the neighborhood, or you own a business in the neighborhood?
I work in the neighborhood. I represent Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors. I've been there for about 7.5 years.
And then what can you tell us now? SOC got involved because about the same time you launched a membership, I came to SOC. Okay. And then we became involved to help reestablish residents, neighbor engagement. What's going on these days with the neighborhood committee? What can we share with people?
Oh, that's a great question. So, the Walker's Point Association is a volunteer board and a community organization. Within that, there are several committees. One, as you mentioned, is a residential committee, and they meet on a monthly basis. And that group has been growing. Now, I have not to date been actively participating in that group, but I've been following the growth of that group. More and more neighbors are starting to get back together again. It really kind of stopped before COVID. And what's really neat is we have Cream City Photography has a beautiful outdoor space that can accommodate a lot of people. Can I, which is an establishment right on Fifth Street, has a beautiful outdoor space too. They can accommodate. We have at that residential committee, it's a great place to hear again from the police, whereas our entire community, all the businesses and residents get together on a monthly basis the last Tuesday of the month. We hear from police, we hear from businesses, we hear from developers there. But the residents have an opportunity to really exchange what they're experiencing living in the neighborhood, whether it's apartments or homes. These people are getting together and they're sharing their concerns. They're rallying, maybe to slow down 6th Street. There's different initiatives that they're discussing, and different concerns that they're discussing at those meetings.
So if neighbors in the area want to get involved, who should they contact?
Well, actually, you can reach out to me, and I'll connect you with Linda and Scott. They head up that committee. So, feel free to pass along my email address, and I will get you connected. And
great. Yeah. Go ahead.
To be a member of the Walker's Point Association as a resident, I mean, it doesn't cost anything. It's great to have your name so that we can make sure that you're invited to everything that's going on. Our monthly community gatherings where everyone gets together, or the residential meetings on a monthly basis as well.
And do you know when they meet monthly, the residential group?
You know, it's been changing a little bit because of summer, but I believe there was one last night. So I think it's the second Wednesday of the month.
Got
But
you.
go ahead and forward anyone who's interested, and I will make sure that you're on the list.
Yeah. And I have an appointment with Scott to meet next week to catch up, see
Fantastic.
where they are. And we've had some transition in staff. And so we're preparing. So I'm going to go back and visit and talk about how to ensure residents are centered and are leading and addressing their needs and their dreams. Is there anything else you want to share with folks, Kathy, before we leave you to a great evening?
Well, I think our primary goal was just to let everyone know that if you're looking for some great specials next week and to be a patron of Walker's Point, next week is a great time to do it. Anytime is a great time to do it. But gosh, if you want that 59-cent ice cream cone, it's happening at McDonald's next week.
Mm-hmm.
So do check it out. And secondly, don't be a stranger. Do connect. Our primary purpose is to create that connectivity, be available, and connect you with businesses and other residents that may be thinking or feeling the same way. So
Right.
I really appreciate this time to share.
Thank you, Kathy. Have a great evening.
Great. Thanks so much.
All right, folks. Besides our critical segment, which today we talked about affordable housing, and our featured segment, which was to give attention to one of the associations in the neighborhood, which was Walker's Point. We have some staple segments that are brief, but we know that are of great interest to you. So we're going to roll into that area. Next with us is our COVID section, and we're going to be watching a presentation on what the Delta variant is, which, we want to make sure everybody understands that and has access to information.
The Delta variant is a little different than the original COVID-19 in that it's more transmissible. So that is what is truly concerning. For fully vaccinated individuals, we're seeing that those individuals that break through are not experiencing severe disease, are not being hospitalized. For individuals that are not vaccinated at all, that is of high concern. We're thinking about our own health, but we also have to think about our community, those individuals that are close to us, our family, our friends, our community, our neighbors. Those individuals may have underlying medical conditions that they are aware of, and there are also individuals that may have underlying medical conditions that they are not aware of. The Delta variant is highly transmissible, and when we compare that to the Alpha variant, the one that was first observed in the UK, that tended to be a little bit more virulent. However, the Delta variant, being more transmissible, is making up the largest number of cases in the UK. In the United States, it's making up over 50% of all of our new cases. Why we should be concerned is that in some communities, some states, it's making up over 80%. And in terms of hospitalizations of individuals with severe disease, it can and has been up to about 99% attributed to the Delta variant. These deaths, hospitalizations, at this point with the vaccines, they are preventable. Variants are really smart, and they try to survive, and they evolve. And that's why the vaccination is so important, because we do want to prevent new variants. that gets smarter. Vaccinations will slow down the propagation of new variants, and that's why it is important. The Delta variant is highly transmissible. What we do not want to see is a variant that is highly virulent, that would cause severe disease, hospitalization, and death. For some communities, in particular rural and semi-rural, that do not have easy access to clinics, medical hospitals, that have the resources to take on and treat the patients, these are the communities that we really need to worry about.
So we all have questions about, what continues to happen with COVID. And so thank you for our team setting that information up. It's really important to keep that in front of us. Next, as I said, we have a couple of staple segments for you. We're going to do our civic update, which is going to be talking about voter suppression, very critical concern for our community.
For many voters, the work to make their voices heard ends at the ballot box on Election Day. But for All Voting is Local, that is just the beginning. In 2020, voters turned out in record numbers despite the pandemic to make our voices heard. And in response, state and local officials rushed to attack our freedoms, pushing anti-voter scams in states and spreading lies about the election. Now, as more and more states are trying to enact discriminatory barriers to the ballot to silence the voices of Black, brown, young, and new American voters, All Voting is Local is on the ground to remove these barriers before the next election. Because we know voters don't go to Capitol Hill to vote. They go to their local polling place, chosen and governed by local boards of elections. And that is exactly where we are. We are a state-centered campaign, working within the communities we serve while bringing the resources and reach of a national organization. Our mission is to hold local officials accountable so that disenfranchised communities can cast a ballot and have a count. Together, with community leaders and grassroots groups, we can solve these problems before they stop voters from being heard. And we know this works. We've shown that it does. We can't wait until the next election. Voter suppression is happening right now, and we can fix it at the source.
Folks, if you want to get involved to make sure that our democracy is still operating honestly and is accessible to everyone, we have staff who works on this issue. You can contact us at SOC, SOC, at SOC again, Milwaukee.org, and we'll get you connected to the staff. You can call us. We continue to be available to you in all the ways except for in person, right? We're not quite all in person. We've done a couple of events, outdoor events. But you can also call us at the number we've always had, 414-672-8090, and get involved with our efforts. We're especially working on redistricting, what happens with the census count and how that impacts how we get represented and how we funds get distributed to us. So please connect with us. And then our final regular segment is a segment from our youth program. So we'll share their piece with you and be back with you in a little bit.
Good evening, SOC viewers. My name is Angel and I've been a youth organizer at SOC for 3 years now. The youth program at SOC has really helped me in several aspects, but today I would like to focus on the aspect of career development. Every Wednesday we had our youth day where we explore many different careers and had guests come in and talk about their careers and how to succeed in those careers if we wanted to go through that pathway. Because of the amount of professionals that took their time to talk to us, I have been provided with a generous amount of information and knowledge on several careers, especially the career that I'm particularly interested in, which is the field of dentistry. My personal favorite career day was when med students that wanted to become doctors came in to talk to us about their daily lives and get the gist of how they go about their day. This is just one example of the many ways that SOC has helped me in my career development. Apart from that, SOC has aided me with plenty of experiences which help me stand out from other students or colleagues when applying to colleges or jobs. That's all I wanted to share with you today. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Hi, my name is Jasmine and I'm a youth organizer with the Southside Organizing Center. SOC has helped me a lot in many ways. SOC would always make sure me and my siblings were enrolled in school. They're always encouraging us to apply to scholarships and provide us with the resources to do so. We worked on an Optimist International essay contest on how we have reached our goals by being optimistic. SOC has also helped me with my personal development, always pushing me to do better, learning new things, and helping my community.
By far, I think all the SOC staff's favorite program is the Youth Organizers Program. We're so blessed to be able to serve our community in that way. Let me see who's with us so we can say some hellos. If you're here with us, please say a hello in the comments so I can say hello back. We miss so many of you. And I haven't seen our super fans for a while because I'm not on the forum all the time. Luckily, we have accomplished having a lot of staff know how to do it because that's the purpose of our work, right? To make sure all folks can lead. Hola, Clary, one of our staff is with us. Happy to see. She says she loves the youth as well. Folks, if the forum is important to you, if the information we've provided you has been useful, sorry, I'm telling you, this cold's getting the better of me, useful for you, will you do me a favor and commit to filling out our survey? It's just 3-4 questions. It takes no more than a couple of minutes. The link is in the comments, but also you're going to see a video now. So please fill it out. We need to know what's working for you, what's not, if we're missing any information or people you want to see. Thank you for being with us. Be safe and have a great evening.
Has this live forum been informative and useful to you? What part of the forum could be improved or changed to make it better? Please take our quick survey that's located in the comments section so that we can keep 3 o'clock with SOC going for residents. Thank you for tuning in.